Hey guys, Kosher Kush 420 bringing you soup of the day. We're going to do a cream potato with some roasted corn and crispy bacon. This is soup that I used to do at many of the restaurants I've worked at as soup of the days, and it's always sold pretty well. Figured I'd bring it to you guys so you can make it for yourselves at home. So first we're going to peel off like 5 pounds of russet potatoes just to show you how to peel a potato. Just take your peeler and you're just going to shave off that little brown skin and any impurities that are in your potato. You might have some brown spots or whatever. Just keep peeling those away until it's all gone. Then we're going to put those right into a pot with some cold water until we've got all of them done. Once we've got them all peeled, we're going to cut them up to about medium to large chunks. Just put those right back into the pot with cold water. You should always start your potatoes with cold water. It helps for a nice even cooking process. So once you've got them all cut, you're going to have just enough water to cover the potatoes. You don't want too much more than that, or else you're going to have a very loose soup. So next we've taken a package of bacon and cut those slices of bacon up into little pieces. We're then going to put those into a small little sauce pot with a little bit of water. The water helps to render out the bacon and give a much more even cooking process. So as it renders out the bacon and evaporates the water, all you're left with is just delicious bacon fat to finish cooking and frying of that bacon until it gets nice and crispy. And that's what you should look like once all of your water is evaporated. So make sure you keep stirring it every now and then so you're not burning anything. Making sure that everything's getting cooked evenly. Once it comes to a nice golden brown like that, you're pretty much done. You set it aside and strain off all that fat. Next we got a nice hot saute pan. No oil in there, we're just doing a dry roast real quick to get some caramelization and so that roasting color on there. So just keep tossing it every now and then, letting it sit for a little bit to get some color. Keep it moving so everything's cooking nice and evenly, so you get a good amount of char on all of your corn. So that's ready. We're going to set those aside. Our potatoes are pretty much done. As you can see, when we squish them with our tongs, they just break apart. Want to make sure you check all of your pieces. Not every one, but size difference anyway. Large chunks, make sure those are cooked as well as your smaller ones. Once you've got them all cooked, you're going to go through and just puree them up with a little immersion blender. I like to use these things versus a regular blender because A, you can only use a little bit at a time in your regular blender. If you overfill your blender with hot liquid, it will explode on you. I don't mean the blender will explode, but all the contents will burst out the top. I've had it happen to people numerous times over the years. So you're just going to keep your immersion blender moving around, trying to make sure that you're getting every little bit of potato that's floating around in there. Make sure you're moving from the top to the bottom. You can see I'm using a non-stick pot as I use with most of my cooking equipment. And the tip of that immersion blender had some nice metal points on it. You want to make sure that you're not scraping your pot with that, or else you will ruin your non-stick finish. Don't worry about the blade though, because the blade is tucked under those points, so the blade will not hit your pan. So you're just going to keep it going, like I said, until everything seems nice and smooth. You've got all of your potatoes pureed up. Once that's all done, we're going to bring it up to a simmer again and start to season it. Add in our heavy cream. Mix that in well as we pour it in. Make sure everything gets incorporated nicely. Doing 1 pint of heavy cream, so that is 2 cups or half a quart. Once that's all mixed in, like I said, we're still going to keep it up to a little bit of a simmer to keep it nice and hot. We're going to add in some black pepper, some garlic powder, and some kosher salt. I did already season the water with salt when I boiled the potatoes, so we're not going to start off with a lot of salt, and we'll adjust if need be. So we got like a couple tablespoons of pepper, a couple tablespoons of garlic powder. I always just kind of measure my seasonings to taste. So you can always adjust if need be. Better to under-season and adjust to what you want than over-season and try to fix your mistake. So once you get all that mixed in well, we're going to give it a quick little taste, make sure that all of our seasoning is where we want it to be, and then like I said, adjust if need be. And you can also see we got a nice creamy consistency already, coats the spoon pretty well. So we just needed a little more salt in my opinion, so we're just going to add just a little bit more, mix that in, then we should be good. And it's time for everyone in the pool. We're going to dump in our bacon, we're going to dump in our corn. I've also chopped up some Asian chives that the wife bought. You can use regular chives if you would like. I just asked her to grab chives, and she grabbed me chives that she saw when she was at the Asian market. They're a little bit different. Doesn't have much of a different flavor profile though. So once all that's in there, like I said, keep bringing it up to a little simmer to let all that kind of infuse just a little bit. And our soup is ready and good to go. So just serve that up in a nice little soup bowl. You could garnish this with a little bit extra crispy bacon or some maybe mixed cheese, but other than that, it's ready. Hope you guys enjoy it. Have a good one.